dog day.
Easter, the hot dogs
Now,
made out of chocolate.
here's the thing, and I want to point this out to you. The same episode that it was just the two of you talking about Katy Perry was also the same episode where you guys were just talking about hot dogs for a while. So if I leave you two to your own
Really?
device, yeah, if I leave you two to your own devices long enough, you're going to talk about Katy Perry in space and hot dogs.
I mean,
Well, at the time, yes. In our defense, Katy Perry and space. It was quite recent.
It just happened.
Yes,
Which makes it weird
And
that
also in
you're
our
talking about it
defense.
now.
Well, we keep making fun of it now because it's a funny thing that happened.
mm,
It's like if you stop and think about it, it's like a really bizarre thing that happened, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean, like
Okay.
imagine in like 2015, Britney Spears went to space. Like, what the fuck? Why would Britney Spears be going to space? Her heyday was 15 years ago. Why the fuck would Katy Perry go to space? It doesn't make any sense. But second of all, right, in our defense again, hot dogs are delicious.
Mm.
We just said you can have them all year round. You can talk about them all year round.
Hi,
Hot
everybody,
dogs.
welcome to Smart Avengers. My name is Corey. With me is Dylan and John. How's it going, guys?
How much of that's gonna be in it?
I don't know. We'll figure
All of
that
it.
out. We'll figure that out. So yeah, how's it going?
Good.
Not too bad.
So yeah, welcome to the show. Last episode, we had a pretty kind of an in-depth discussion on the Watchmen and talked about like socioeconomic factors and literary devices. And I thought maybe it would be fun to sort of have, I guess, more of a relaxed fit episode to follow that up with. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're just kind of gonna just hang out and kind of shoot the shit for a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Last
Yeah.
episode was very academic.
Yes,
We had a lot
Yes.
of real questions
we got
that
we got a
God
guide.
bless us, neither of us were prepared for.
Yeah, but we bullshitted our way through it pretty well, I think.
Much like
At
school.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Much like school.
Yeah, none of the questions were about hot dogs.
I think the difference is that you
Okay,
guys
Barry.
actually did the reading this time,
Unlike
unlike school.
Well, I
I-
watched the
the reading.
movie, so I was
You watched
that
the
was like
movie.
the Cliff Notes version.
You know, I happened to be.
movie.
I was like assigned Arabian Nights, in college, and we had to talk about it the next day. And this guy very confidently was asked like, what was the main like function of the story, and he's like, oh yeah, that's like, oh yeah, the girl has to tell a different story every night to the sultan or whatever, right? And like she has to like do it to get her freedom. And my professor was just like, well, thank you for informing me that you just watched the cartoon, because she had to tell him a story after they had sex, because after he slept with a concubine, he had them executed, and she was telling him a story to give him a cliffhanger so that he would invite her back the next night. Like,
Pretty clever.
yeah, it's like, yeah, you watch the cartoon version, because I don't think the cartoon's going to involve that particular part of the story.
One version of the cartoon does put that in, but it's
It's
a
the pup
lot.
named Scooby-Doo version.
Yes, there's
Weirdly
graphic sex. Yeah, unnecessary sex, I would say.
That puts
Poor
new
Velma.
meaning to zoinks.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why they had to make Scooby Doo doing all the fucking. That was bizarre.
Well, it was also that the Sultan was just watching as well. Like, that was what was weird.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah, he was just
Vibing, you know.
observing. I don't know. We should probably move on from that.
How much of that's sticking in?
Oh
you know?
boy, hard to tell. No,
Putting
so
the Scooby Doo bit on.
yeah, right. I remember that actually happened again, but it happened previously. We were reading A Christmas Carol, and we had a pop quiz on it, and my friend kind of accidentally exposed that he had only watched the Muppet Christmas Carol, because it was like, who was the
Man.
first ghost that
See
visited?
Marty Ghost?
Exactly, because he's like,
See
who was
Marty.
who was the first ghost that visited Ebenezer Scrooge? And he said Jacob and Bob Marley. We're like, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, it wasn't Bob Marley because that is
That's
the.
reggae. Yes.
It was Jacob and oh man, who was the other one?
Was it Robert?
No. Oh man, I love that film. Oh, now we're into some deep territory.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Robert. Is it? Is it Jacob and Robert Marley?
I thought
It
it was
might be
Jacob and
Robert.
Robert Marley.
Oh,
It
yeah. I
might.
want to say Robert.
It might be Robert. That sounds right. But in the book, it's just Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
But like we as well, we used to watch the Muppet. Me and my family watched the
Yeah, it's
Muppets
Jacob and
Christmas
Robert
Carol
Marley.
every year. We watched it every year, and I think like 3 years ago, we found out that there was only one ghost.
You never read the actual
So
version or seen any other version of Christmas
no,
Carol?
no,
Fair enough, I
because I know what
guess.
happened. Ghost shit, whatever. I know.
Well,
You know.
it's a little different.
I used to work in Waterstones, and the guy, it was over Christmas, and the guy ran in and was like, "Do you guys have that book that's about Scrooge?" I'm like, "Christmas Carol?" He's like, "No, you idiot, the one about Scrooge." I'm like, "It's called a Christmas Carol." He's like, "Oh, you have it?" I'm like, "Yes, of course we have it. We're fucking Waterstones. It's Christmas. What are you kidding me?"
Mm-hmm.
You have fucking
You have.
Christmas Carol? I think so.
Do you know who?
Let me double check.
You know who Paul F. Tompkins is, right?
I do.
Yes.
He has a joke about working at like a hat store, and he
Yes.
said a guy. Yeah. So yep. Let me try on that king hat. You mean a crown?
No, they king hat. Familiar with that as well. Sure.
So to steer us back into the realm of comic book discussion,
Oh yeah.
not that I'm opposed to talking about the Muppets. I could talk about the Muppets forever, really, or the work of Jim Henson.
Mm-hmm.
Really, one thing I showed you guys earlier this week was it's official. I saw preview images of it a month or so ago, but like on page now officially, Mary Jane Watson has had a costume change as Venom, and it is something to say the very least on the matter. So, what are your thoughts on the new Mary Jane Venom look?
I think all of us, as full-blooded males, were saying, you know what's not cool about goopy old space Venom? Not enough tits.
He's not sexy enough.
Needs tits and hair.
Yeah, and heels.
Mm-hmm.
And he heels for no reason at all. No other clothes, but heels, yes.
Yeah.
Heels are very important. Does Venom ever wear shoes? No.
I still don't know
Lady
why.
Venom.
I still don't know why the gold accent in his look as well. Like he has like gold eyes and like the symbol is gold. I don't get that.
Yeah. Let me look at the picture again.
Does it have something to do with the whole? Because I know that the reason that Mary Jane's bonded with Venom is because of like what happened with her when she was like Jackpot, which is still a bizarre fucking thing. Can't people just be like normal people in the comics? Not everybody needs to have a fucking hero moment. Anyway, yeah. I'm still bothered by the human teeth.
I'm not bothered about that. I'll tell you what I am bothered about is that in the picture you showed us,
Yeah.
she says, "We are Venom."
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So, is that's the dumb thing about Venom for a long time is that originally it was quite clearly like a symbiote relationship.
Yeah.
The Venom connects to the person, live off, and to do stuff. And in return, the person gets to be Venom. And that's like the relationship. The goop wouldn't really survive on Earth or have mobility.
Yeah.
Really, you feel like that's the way it should be. History has proven that none of that to be correct. Because if the goop disappears from Venom, it'll just find him or whatever. So the mobility thing's lost. He can get around in Earth's atmosphere, no problem. All of that's lost. But forget all that. You know. But because it was a symbiotic relationship, it meant that whenever it was connected with Eddie Brock, it became like one. So it would call itself We instead of I, because it's the combination of Eddie Brock and the symbiote. And that part of that as well was to show like the either the weak-willedness of Eddie Brock or his own willingness to let the symbiote take over himself. the whole point of Peter Parker getting rid of the symbiote was he didn't want it to take him over. Eddie Brock was completely okay with the symbiote taking him over because it gave him the power to whoop up Spider-Man, and therefore he was very happy to say we are Venom because we're a team.
Yeah.
We're literally a joining. And I feel like I haven't been keeping up too religiously with modern Venom because it's been a fucking slog. But am I reading into that a little bit too much, or did they just say we are Venom with Mary Jane because they just think that's what Venom says? Like no symbolism, no like reason for that. They just think, well, Venom says we, so
Well,
there you go.
so this is Mary Jane in a post Paul thing. Like she did break up with him, but like he was murdered. I don't. I'm not reading it myself, but I am also kind of curious if it's supposed to imply that with Paul's death, she's more willing to give more of herself to the Venom symbiote. And like
What
that's
you're
why the
saying is
costume changing is that's more of a making it her own.
what you're saying is now that Paul is dead, she has to fill that void of Paul somehow, and she's chosen the Venom symbiote to fill the void. What we're saying is she's fucking the symbiote, yeah.
There was
But
a
the
comic.
symbiote's keeping her alive though at the moment,
Yeah.
so
Well, also like there was like early in the run, I remember seeing the panels where Paul was complaining that they hadn't been intimate because it felt weird because he knew that Venom was there the whole time now, and he wasn't.
He felt like he was fucking Venom.
That's what. Yeah, that
yeah.
it was like an
Oh,
unintentional three way.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all
I'm,
been there.
I'm gonna say that that's probably a side of Venom that nobody wanted to explore. Nobody needed to know that. Nobody.
Yeah.
No, no, thank you. No need for that. But thank you to whoever wrote that for just writing that in anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes comics are really bad about introducing little throwaway things like that I guess are meant to be comic relief, but just if you think a little too much about it, it makes you uncomfortable.
I tell you this, man. I feel like every time we've done like a little kind of like episode where we're just kind of like shooting the shit and being more relaxed and spitballing stuff, we always end up coming back to Venom.
Well, I think honestly, sometimes when I come into these episodes knowing it's going to be a relaxed thing, I like to have a couple of ideas of things to talk about that I know is something that the both of you would be very opinionated on. And so like the Spider-Man world is one of those things. So I always Venom always has something weird going on these days. So I'd say it's kind of low fruit.
I mean, it is. It's just frustrating that like this. I feel like this is like the third or fourth one in a row we've done where it's still been like this Mary Jane Venom bullshit, and it's not gotten any better. It's just not gotten any better,
They
and I don't know if it.
I mean, I think they just revealed who Torment is, by the way, and it's just seemingly some guy. I don't think
Oh,
it's
really?
I don't think it was like a big shocking reveal.
That's because
Did he have any kind of connection to like Peter or Mary Jane or anything?
I don't.
yeah, it was a shocker because he married like Venom's brother or whatever.
He's a deranged serial killer named Graham. Graham,
What?
since childhood, Graham's mind was overwhelmed by psychic spirals of light that connected people to all of their relatives, filling his head with noise. He discovered that killing the family members connected to those spirals quieted the noise and cleared his mind. Driven by an obsession with these family trees, he hunts down intertwined lineages. He was later manipulated by the Carnage symbiote, which fed him the names of his ultimate targets, Peter, Mary Jane, and Eddie Brock. So there you go.
So now that we know that, you could say, oh, maybe we're just jumping ahead. We haven't read the story. We don't understand the context. I would argue we don't need to understand the context because I'm not. We can all go around the table and just say what we think. I'm going to say personally that I think this sounds stupid. What do you guys think?
I mean, the thing is, like, we'd probably be saying it sounds stupid if it was someone connected to like Peter and Mary Jane. Like if it was, say, like Aunt May or something,
Harry Osborn.
and that'd be pretty shit.
Can you
So
imagine if it was Aunt May?
I mean,
Aunt May killed the Shocker.
Almost married Dr. Octopus. Killed
Why
the
not?
Shocker.
Oh, it's funny. It was her the whole time. Oh my god, dude! If they revealed
like-
Aunt May was actually like the most, like she knew who Spider-Man was, and she was an evil supervillain who just beat the shit out of Spider-Man for no reason, and he had no idea for like 50 years. I mean, fucking awesome! That would be so good.
I mean, it's a twist that no one would see coming.
Yep, it's true.
I feel like that's a better reveal than going, let's see who the
I don't
murderer
know.
really
I
is.
mean, it's just the fact that it's just a
guy,
guy. It's just a guy named Graham. I don't even know if you need to do like a dramatic reveal. I mean,
Like,
it
it's just
feels,
some guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if you're gonna have a mystery, the payoff needs to be worth it, and I don't feel like the payoff being it's Graham, who doesn't even have a last name by the looks of it. It just doesn't feel like.
And we
His
need-
first name is really bland as well. Like Graham is not the kind of name that screams, "Oh, this guy is really interesting."
Yeah, yeah. It's
me, Graham.
yep.
Sounds like a serial killer though.
It
He
certainly
does, yeah. I'll give him
But
that.
Yeah, but I want to
Oh.
real quick.
Just also, I do want to
Third
point
thing.
out. I do want to point out something really quick as well. The main reason he killed
Okay.
Shocker was he was associated with Mary Jane somehow. That we found out through. Yeah, it's still weird to do to have it like this one dude just related to Mary Jane for some reason. And it just never come up in conversation. Like, oh yeah, you were married to Peter Parker. And you're like, oh hey, by the way, did you know that my third cousin is the Shocker? Like, small fucking world. We're in New York, city of millions. Anyway, the reason he killed Shocker was to get his gauntlets, and they're already been taken off of him.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, so Paul damaged one of them with a knife, and then Spider Carnage, whoever I that's why I just read, destroyed the other one. So Shocker died for nothing, essentially.
Good.
It's
God damn it.
Sounds about right for him.
What I was gonna say about sounds about right for him. That's a bit harsh.
It's a bit.
We did a whole episode about him.
We did, and he's a loser, but that's why we like him.
He's a loser now because he died, but whenever he was alive,
No,
he
he
did
was a
loads
loser
of
when he
stuff.
was alive.
He had cool gauntlets, and he had a skateboard. Yeah, all sorts of things going for him. He was married to somebody who knows Mary Jane. That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
you know.
she's with him these days.
I was gonna say real quick because we have a habit of not only talking about Venom, but also finding the way back to one of the goblins. I was gonna say that like we covered this in like the Hobgoblin episode or whatever, but the beauty of the reveal of the Hobgoblin, or at least the mystery around the Hobgoblin, was that whenever they started doing that, they had a lot of like ancillary characters around that fed into the story in little parts, but weren't like focus of the story. That once the mystery of the Hobgoblin became a thing, like who is he? There were a lot of unanswered questions.
Potentials. Yeah.
There were a lot of like, oh, it could be this guy because of this, or it could be this guy because of this. It wasn't just like, oh, it's fucking Carl. Like there was mystery to it, and again, they probably fucked up by leaving it too late. But the trails were there. There was like breadcrumbs that could lead you down several different paths, so that whenever it was properly revealed at some point, you go, oh, okay, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with this, they seemed like they were building some sort of tension and some sort of mystery, and heightening it significantly because of all the murders and stuff. Like you know, Spider-Man needs to solve this mystery ASAP, or else he might kill more Shockers. You know, Lady Shocker might kill loads of people.
Shocker Jr.
And then yeah, exactly, Baby Shocker. You know.
Was that
and then for the payoff,
there's a mini in CMLL that's gimmick is he's Little Shocker. Is it Shocker Cito?
You know.
Just thought I'd contribute. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, like that just seemed like a letdown because there's no mystery or intrigue to it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's a shame. Although I see Hobgoblin still kind of like bouncing around in the comics these days. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't read Spider-Man anymore because it's just not fun to me anymore. I wonder, like, when was the last time it was fun for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been
Feels
a
like
while.
a long time
Are
ago,
there?
man.
So is that just like? So I know, John. I know you still read a lot of trades and stuff. Are you reading just for the
Hmm.
completionist aspect of it, or is it just I always read Spider-Man, so therefore I will continue to read Spider-Man? Like,
Well, it's a bit of both, really. Like, I am pretty close to having every every issue of Spider-Man, or Amazing Spider-Man, I should say, collected in graphic novels. So,
Oh.
like, I don't want to stop now.
yeah,
Hmm.
Um, but then there is like, because he has been like my favorite character for pretty much the entire time I've been reading comics. So I don't want to give up on it just because it's bad. It's a bit like wrestling in that sense. Like, even though there's been some pretty terrible years, you kind of stick with it and then hope it's going to get good again. Or maybe there's like some sliver of goodness in amongst all the shit as well, which kind of keeps you going.
creature habit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick. Right now, in the current stuff that you're reading, is it one of those things where there's a sliver of goodness in it that keeps you reading, or is it one of those things where like it's bad, but you just hope that it's gonna get better in like a half a year or so?
I mean, I haven't read the newest volume yet. The last one I read was the one with like the gang war and stuff going on. And that was all right. It wasn't terrible. The
Okay.
stuff before that was pretty bad, and that was very much a case of waiting for something good to happen, and it was, waiting a long time. And
What was the last one before the gang war?
I think that was the Beyond stuff, possibly,
Beyond
where
Corporation.
yeah, Ben Riley takes over as Spider-Man for a little bit,
Okay.
which kind of leads to him becoming Chasm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I think the run before that was like was that the Nick Spencer one where it was all about Kindred and whatever the fuck that was about. I still have no idea.
So
We
Beyond Corporation is currently one of the bads in the adjectiveless X-Men book right now.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they're currently they've hired these mercenaries that are calling themselves Danger Room that have sort of set up a trap to like kill off the X-Men and also like reinvigorate like the hatred of humans to mutants kind of thing. Your boy Glob Herman got like shot and is like bleeding out and like they're trying to he might be dying as a result of
I have
it.
a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Huh?
How can he bleed out?
Well, he just has a waxy exterior. I mean, he's not like inhuman.
No, no,
You
he
can
has
literally see his
no. He
organs.
Yeah, you don't see his blood. He doesn't have any blood.
Now, something's leaking out of him.
It's he like in the Grant Morrison when you see him like picking parts of his body off and like turning them into fire.
Yeah, no,
Like
like
he
I
doesn't have any
said,
blood.
something's leaking out of him. Because that was part of the plan was to
Wow.
piss off ID and Quentin so that they go into like basically a rage on the civilians of the city.
Well, everything's expensive these days.
I've also been
Real quick
yeah. Go ahead.
before we go back to that. Sorry to interrupt. Before we go back to that, John, I don't know if you would be interested. I would be interested in like maybe not buying it, but finding a way to read that Kindred stuff because I'm like that feels like some sort of bullshit we need to talk about, doesn't it?
Oh, do we have to?
Doesn't that
Doesn't
sound a
sound
little bit
terribly
like
excited
some
about
kind of
it.
tang bullshit? Like,
Uh, I
doesn't it?
mean, maybe if we talked about it, it would help me get my head around like what actually happened and
Exercise
Yeah.
the
how it
demons.
all fits together. Yeah,
Yeah, some closure. Get over it, you know.
maybe, but I don't really want to revisit it. That's the problem.
Okay.
It was so dull and so poorly executed.
Oh, like I will say it seemed poorly executed, but it also seemed like the one thing they tried to do was not make it dull, where like everybody fucking fought each other and stuff like that. And
Mm,
there's like demons from hell and shit, robots.
yeah, I guess. Well, okay, you hunt it down, you give it a read, and then you
Okay.
let me know.
Hey, yeah, I tell you what, let's do this. If I can find it and I can read it for like a cheap or preferably free price, um, let's talk about that sometime.
I reckon I could hook you up with it for free.
Hello.
There you go.
I like the sound of that. You also have to hook Corey up with it for free as well, so that we all go through the same pain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty fair.
Yeah, I'll read Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, but bad Spider-Man though.
Oh, I'm not a huge
Bad
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
fan, so there's, what's the difference?
You'll know.
Anyway, no, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. It was reading of things that were seemingly interesting on paper, but not sure how I'm feeling about it. I've been reading the current Iron Man run, which is like really aim heavy, which feels like a bit of a
Okay.
because this is the follow up to. Remember, I was telling you there's that weird Iron Man run where he had a giant sword, and you're like, why the fuck does he have a sword? Well,
Yes.
they, the new creative team that took on after that and relaunched it with a number one, decided just to go back to basics. And it's just Tony Stark with a suit, some women troubles, and dealing with aim.
And a horse.
No horse yet. But they did introduce a new Citizen V.
Okay.
And, like,
Oh,
that's...
no way.
Yeah, so there's a new Citizen V, and it's implied to be someone who, like... I'm gonna go and take a stab. I'm gonna say it's Black Knight.
Oh,
Just
that's the horse.
There's the horse. Yeah, because they were like, because they ruled out that it was Zemo again, because they're like, yeah, no, he's not been seen since Doom killed him, and this character, when he's appeared, he like talks like he's very familiar with Tony Stark. He's familiar with like a lot of the stuff, and he's also wearing over the Citizen V costume, instead of a cape like the Zemo version, he's wearing a brown leather jacket with an Avengers patch on the arm. And kind of like the Black Knight wore back in the 90s. So yeah, I'm thinking it's Black Knight as the new Citizen
Do you think
V.
that's like too telegraphy?
Might be, but also like I'm not putting it past Marvel to be blatant about shit at this point. Because like they killed Fixer. Because like at the end of the first arc, they killed Fixer and introduced this character as the kind of anti Tony Stark as the new leader of AIM.
Okay.
Because like he was introduced at the beginning of the arc as like he won this competition for like funding on a project to, basically Tony Stark was like, I'm gonna look for the new me, and Madame Mask was like, that's a great idea, and then abducts him and tortures him to try to get him to recreate the Iron Man origin of being held hostage and inventing something spectacular to get out of it. And yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how I feel about the run. It seems like it's fine so far. I'll probably keep reading it, but like, it does feel like a kind of return to roots Iron Man and not trying to be too cute about it.
No swords?
No, well, the only Citizen Vs.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that being the Black Knight.
But
also,
it might not be. I guess that was just my theory.
But also, like, what's the Black Knight up to these days?
Black Knight was last.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, no. Like the last time they featured Black Knight, they played with this idea that like basically his self-loathing and depression is the curse, and they came up with a new Black Knight that he was like sharing the responsibility with. So there was like him, and there's like a female version of Black Knight. So yeah,
Always a female version.
Always female version.
Is there a baby version?
Not yet. But yeah, it was such a weird like run as well. because I remember like it was like playing up to this idea that like Black Knight was actually secretly loathed and like despised by other members of the Avengers, and I'm like, when did this characterization come about?
Yeah, that's a bit odd.
It was a bit weird. The other run that I was giving a couple issues to that I think I'm gonna stop is Paul Jenkins is writing another Sentry mini,
Hmm.
and it's fine, but again, it's for the Sentry has like one story to tell. He's kind of like
Yeah.
a superpowered version of Warren Worthington III. And like so that this
Yeah.
mini series, the whole thing is just like, what if I'm actually the Void all the time now and I just don't realize it, and playing like he's kind of just pretending to be happy normal Sentry, but in reality is like just lying to himself.
Okay.
And it was I read the 2 issues of it. It was really, really dialogue heavy, and I just found myself not terribly invested.
Well, okay, but is that because, like you said, you think the Sentry is kind of like a one-note kind of character, or is that
Yeah, I
because
don't think he's doing. I mean, Paul Jenkins like invented the character, but I also don't feel like he's doing anything new with him.
yeah, there's not much you can do with him?
Yeah, like so. Yeah, it's like it's Bob. He's back. He's seemingly normal. He's got a wife again. He's got a dog. You know, he. There was like an interesting moment where he appeared as the Void and like basically made the Kingpin shit himself. And
Okay.
like flooded this island of like very wealthy people whilst like making sure that the regular workers were safe, but like swept all the billionaires out into the ocean. um
Why would the Void do that?
yeah, that's what's kind of weird about it, because it's seemingly like
Mm,
because like there was a
mm.
previous Sentry miniseries before this that was playing with the idea of the Sentry and the Void merging into like one being, and we had this like black haired version of Sentry as a result of it. But obviously they didn't really want to continue on with that idea, and we're back to them being very split, but maybe not so split. I don't know. I just didn't think there was like enough there to keep me interested.
I
Hmm.
see. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the Sentry either. I feel like that's a tough one to like. That's kind of why you don't really see him a lot, because you're like, well, what do you do with him?
I mean, that's
You
what
know, how
happened
do
when they
you?
put him in New Avengers and Mighty Avengers back in the day. Was every time they come up against a threat, they had to come up with a creative way to take Sentry out of the fight. Otherwise, he would have taken care of the fight.
Exactly. Like that's the end of the fight,
Hmm.
you know? And that's a shame. That's like a bad kind of character to have, because then like you said, every issue is just like, well, how do we get rid of the Sentry and then do the rest of the story?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it allows them to be sort of creative though in finding different ways to take him out of the picture, so then he's not just saving the day the whole time.
Yeah. Sentry, your Tiddlywink competition's on this week. Like, fuck, I forgot about it. He just flies off and like, ha, sucker. It's not till next week. And then
Hmm.
we kill civilians or whatever.
What other stuff have I been? I was like going through a bunch of stuff. I've been reading the Cyclops miniseries. That's been pretty good.
Okay.
The whole premise on
Is
that
this the
one.
one where he's been sort of mutated into some sort of weird monster thing?
No, no,
Actually, a Cyclops.
that's in the X-Men run right now. That's part of that Danger Room story I was telling you about. Basically, like an organic living.
Okay.
It's like an organic living ship has possessed him, and the other members of the X-Men is saved for Beast. And like the last issue,
Hmm.
the last issue, the cliffhanger is Beast realizing that the creature is a newborn and just is scared and doesn't understand what's going on. So like Beast is in full pacifist mode. So like there's good Beast who like is not really wanting to engage in combat and everything. He just wants to invent stuff and like support the team. And then there's the White Beast, that is the one from Krakoa / Evil Beast, that is the head of 3K. So
Have you ever
that
established
Okay.
what 3K stands for?
I don't remember. They might have, but I don't think it was important enough that for me to commit it to memory. Let's
Okay,
see.
like is it it's like 3,000? Like is it that kind of thing, or is it like
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It's number 3,000.
Is it?
Yep, 3,000. Good job.
3,000 what? Thank you.
Let me take a look and see if I can find it. It's the year the organization plans to completely replace humanity with mutant kind, and in Roman numerals, 3 M's, which stands for make more mutants.
Wow. So they thought. I tell you what, like
They
they're
put in some
spreading it
work.
out. They wanted to wait. Yeah, 3,000. They got plenty of time, dude.
Now you got Beast.
Plenty of time. Let me ask you this real quick. So we were talking about 2 different Cyclopses there. So obviously Cyclops, when he's merged with the Thing, is in current X-Men, but
Yeah.
the other Cyclops book is a solo Cyclops book.
Yeah, it's a solo book. It's a mini series. Basically, with that one, he is stranded in the woods with the Reavers, and his visor's been snapped. So he's like, he can't open his eyes, or he's going to destroy everything in front of him.
How does this work? Like timeline? Does this come before the mod? Like the
It's
X-Men
implied.
one?
Yeah, I mean, it's implied that it's taking place concurrently.
It can't take place concurrently because Cyclops is in both of them.
Well, yeah, but it's also like, how does Wolverine in the Avengers and X-Force and X-Men as well? It's like, it's in the same period of time, not at the exact same time.
Yeah, but that's different because in one of those issues, Wolverine just doesn't have like no face.
Yeah, but like the panels that you saw was like it literally had just happened to him. So it's not like this has been like an ongoing multi-issue arc where Cyclops is part monster now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering, like, because it seems like this, solo X-Men thing or the solo Cyclops thing seems like it takes place like slightly before
I think so.
current X-Men thing.
Yeah, I think so. They've not really established that. Like, that's the problem with all of these X-Men books they have going on at the moment. There's just a bunch of miniseries, and there's no like real real order in which they're occurring in. So like there's
Okay,
that one.
that makes sense.
There's a Magic and Colossus one that's happening at the same time as well, and that one's mainly Magic and Colossus in Russia, dealing with like all of these Russian folklore characters that have come to life, while also like honestly, it feels kind of like a book that's meant to bully Colossus because it's all about like Magic getting really fed up with his protectiveness and his self-loathing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like every issue, there's at least one series of panels of her like getting really frustrated with him, going, you shouldn't have to live this way. This is my fault. I know I'm terrible. I've done horrible things. It's I like Russian folklore, so I've been reading it. And I'm like, oh, this is fun to see someone take this particular avenue of like Baba Yagas and Koshev. What is it, Koshev's? It doesn't matter. Regardless, all of these like Russian folklore characters and doing things with them, but at the same time, like it is kind of a tiring story arc because Magic is kind of being presented that she has no flaws.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting to me, Corey. When are we going to do an episode where we just talk about Russian literature?
Well, here's the problem. We could talk about Russian literature. We could talk about Russian folklore. I'd be happy to do both. I was actually about to do a reread of The Master and Margarita, so we can make that happen.
Oh my god, I love that book.
It's a great book.
I love that book. It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah, no. Have you ever read Dead Souls? Have you ever read Dead Souls by Nikolai Gogol?
No.
You would like it. It's very similar to Master Margarita.
Okay. I really like that book. John, if you've ever read it, it's really good.
I have not read any of these.
I have not read a book.
John has watched over 500 movies so far this year.
He doesn't have time to read books.
He doesn't have time to read books.
Fuck?
That.
He's a sophisticated man. He's not reading trashy ass books from Russia.
I just saw the other day on his letterbox he'd watched Despicable Me 1 and 2.
And 3 and 4.
Why? Why did you do that to yourself?
Well, why not?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna watch one, you might as well watch all 4.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with watching Despicable Me 1 and 2 if that's what you're into. Like,
3 and 4.
you can't always be highbrow with your films. Sometimes you gotta.
I mean, I'm one to judge. I was just there like to see if John had watched some of the like terrible horror movies I've been watching recently, and I was just like, John's at the time it was like one of your most recent watched movies. I was like, okay, all right.
What happened? Wait, is the fourth one out?
Yeah. I mean,
What
how
happened?
would I have watched it if it isn't?
Dude, fuck,
I don't
man.
know. What happened in the fourth one? Can we spoil? Is it spoilers?
I can't even remember what happened in it.
Leave this bit out if it is spoilers. Nothing happened. John can't
No.
remember.
What did happen? Fuck, I can't remember.
It's a really good film.
Yeah,
4 stars.
slam dunk.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, those.
It's
you know,
more. I will say it's not me like deliberately watching these movies. It's just
Don't
like
lie.
taking them off to kind of say that I've watched them and reviewed them, and then
Yeah, no, I get it. It's totally cool. I get it.
Yeah, you have watched Despicable Me at some point. You didn't just go through a Despicable Me marathon recently.
I mean,
no, I'd watched it before, but I hadn't logged it before, so that's the reason why.
I think we all know what the thumbnail is going to be.
just John watching
No.
Despicable Me. Dylan and I dressed like minions sitting on the couch beside him.
Yeah, we're like really bored. Well, let's watch Minions next. Oh my! Have you watched the Minions?
I've watched one of them. I think there's 2 Minions movies. I'm not sure.
God,
Yeah, I think
man.
there's 2 of them.
Oh, John.
Hmm.
Hello. Have you watched the Mario film?
I've seen the first one, but not the second one.
Because they're made by the same people who make Despicable Me.
Yeah, the animation is pretty good in them.
It is. I watched the second one recently. Because I wanted to watch it in the cinema, and I haven't been to the cinema in a long time. And I thought, well, what better film to go to the cinema to go see than the second Super Mario film? And it was a mixed bag. I'm gonna say that. If you ever get around to watching it, I will say this about that film. I thought in the Super Mario film there would be more Super Mario.
Okay.
I feel like he has like I don't know. It just feels like he has like 20 lines of dialogue in like an hour and a half. Do you know what I mean? I
Is
don't
that
know.
not a good thing though, considering Chris Pratt was not exactly doing a Mario voice?
Everybody's so down on Chris Pratt being Mario, and I'm like, I think he's fine. I think he's just fine. You know, they probably could have got somebody better. I don't care. But also, like, he's not terrible. He's kind of
Yeah.
fun. You know, that's what you want a Mario voice to be. It's weird if it is Bob Hoskins. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. That maybe was a slightly weirder choice, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like he could have at least put on some kind of accent. It's Mario, for goodness sake.
Yeah, but also like it's all weird, you know. It's like an Italian plumber from Brooklyn who goes down a pipe and eats mushrooms and shit. You're like, and then goes to space with a dinosaur. You're like, we can just take a pinch of salt with this. I don't think
I
it matters
guess, yeah.
what he sounds like.
Yeah, when you put it like that, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's a nice film, but it's also like I feel like Bowser and Bowser Jr. got way more dialogue than Mario did. I'm like, this is his film. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that would be a fun sidebar. I just because you've been watching Despicable Me, I thought you might have watched Mario, but fine.
Not yet. I will.
You can cut all this bit out if you want. Not because it's offensive, just because it's not good.
Oh, no, you're fine. That's a relaxed fit episode. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Well, it's also the comics.
Yeah, so other stuff I was reading, read the first 2 issues of the Lobo comic. That was pretty fun. The art's really good. Scotty Young. So
I love Scotty Young.
oh yeah, it's really good.
Mhm.
It's good stuff.
He's
And
so good. What comic is this?
Lobo.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So
I should
it's
check it. I want.
yeah,
Hang on, I gotta check his Lobo.
the art's been fun. It the whole first issue was picking fun of the whole like um anti-hero because like Lobo is annoyed with the fact that anti-heroes are a thing even though he is one.
Yeah.
Uh he ends up getting a reality show that's all about just following him around being a bounty hunter. But it's in
His
space.
logo looks pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Wow.
It was a real fun. The first two issues are real fun. Third issue's out this week or 2 weeks ago.
I
If
would.
you're watching this,
Is he writing and drawing it?
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, it's real fun. There's a new
Yeah.
Zatanna comic out that's great if you like Zatanna. It's the same guy who's been writing her for the last few years, so real good handle on the character. There's a
Okay.
new Justice League one shot that I think ties into the upcoming DC Pride series. But it's like a Justice League that's like set in space, and like Green Arrow's a member of it, and part of the joke is that he doesn't want to be part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's fine. It was okay. But I mean, like, I don't think it's a book that's gonna particularly sell well, because I think like the team members of the book are Star Sapphire, Adam Strange, Green Arrow, a character named Galaxy that I think debuted in the Pride issues in like some of their young adult stuff that they've been putting out, and she's like sort of a alien princess who has like light bending powers. And then Dreamer, who was a character that they introduced in the CW shows, and then kind of have been using her sporadically, and her whole deal is like kind of a precog who can like travel through the dream space, where basically if you're like taking a nap, she could use you as a vessel to pop in and out.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, it's
Well,
not exactly a star-studded lineup book, but
yeah.
it was a fine one shot.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. Oh, Dylan, I will tell you, if you're gonna look for something else, there is a mini series that just started at Dark Horse. It was almost the pick of the week for the new
Okay.
number ones. It's called Hidden Springs, and basically
Okay.
a retirement community of like former celebrities finds a baby kaiju, and they have to get this giant larva monster back into the ocean before the U.S. government finds it first. So it's a bunch of old people and a giant baby monster. It was really funny.
Okay.
There's a character that's clearly meant to be Ozzy Osbourne. Good stuff.
Hidden Springs.
Hidden Springs.
Okay. What was the other book you told me about, by the way?
Lobo. Hidden Springs.
No,
Not okay.
the Russian book.
Uh, Dead Souls by Nikolai Golga. Yeah, Nikolai Gogol. Not Golga. That's John Tenta.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
You can write a book from beyond the grave. Okay. I'll write those down. Remember them in the future.
Yeah. Kind of going back to the world of the X-Men real quick. I know that Gambit is getting weird curse powers now. I showed you guys a panel where he's got dragon wings now.
Yeah.
He's like getting possessed, and it's going to be a focal point coming up in the storyline where basically I think Gail Simone did an interview recently and was like, yeah, Gambit messed around with magic and he doesn't really know it or understand it. And now he's kind of paying the consequences for it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that and again, I haven't read it. I like Gil Simone, so it might be really good. I'm also gonna say that I like the idea of Gambit having wings and being magic about as much as I like the idea of Mary Jane being Venom.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more because I like Gambit a lot, but also I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no need. He already is cool, has powers and shit, has his stick.
Mm-hmm.
What more do you need?
Well, wings, apparently.
Well, there's also people who are hoping that he gets a power upgrade because of this, and I don't know like what else you could do with him.
Yeah, I think they're thinking of what was the thing they did? One where like he went to the future and he was like a new son or whatever. Wasn't that him?
A new sun.
Is that him? They did one where like somebody was like cataclysmically in the future, and it turned out it was Gambit because he had he figured out how to connect to like the pure kinetic energy of himself, and that like it was actually like incredibly disastrous, and he was the most powerful person in the world,
Interesting.
or something.
I remember
Listen-
him being in the future, and wasn't he the guy who kind of warned Bishop, maybe, that there was a traitor in the X-Men?
The Witness.
The Witness, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Was that Gambit? Was it?
I have an
I
update.
thought it was, but
I have an
maybe...
update for you guys as well. As
Okay.
of right now, the final issue of Hush 2 is scheduled to come out next week.
As of right now, as in like 3 weeks ago.
As in 3 weeks ago, Hush 2 will be done, and I can start reading the Matt Fraction Batman run that's already on issue like 10. Which
Corey,
means
do you feel comfortable enough knowing? Do you feel comfortable enough knowing that we record this episode to the point where when this episode recorded, it was supposed to come out the week after this? But realistically, when this episode goes out, it still won't be out.
I am not putting it past them to delay it again for whatever reason. Like I said, Jim Lee came out and said that the fault was on him because he got sick and wasn't able to like work on it. But like Jim Lee isn't doing the art for all of the other Jeff Loeb books that have been delayed in recent years. So
Yeah.
I'm just if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck.
So the last issue is coming out recently.
May 27th.
You would think. Okay.
That's the scheduled release date,
what-
May 27th.
What number of book is that?
I think it's Batman 163. I think is the official number. Because Fractions run... Yeah, Batman 163. Because Fractions run was a new number 1. And that came out in August of last year. So
Yes.
there's 2 Batman runs concurrently happening. There's Batman 163 that has been delayed for almost a year. And then Batman number 1 that has gone on to, like I said, I think it's now issue 10. But there's been like some weird stuff happening there. Like I kind of have to know about stuff that's going on in it because it impacts the other books. Like there was a one shot that came out called Barbara Gordon Breakout, where Barbara Gordon has intentionally gotten herself arrested to investigate the corruption that's going on within the Gotham State Penitentiary.
Okay.
So that's like a certain
Okay.
that's a book that's happening at the moment. And like that book is all about the shit's happening in Gotham concurrently. Like Vandal Savage is the current commissioner, Poison Ivy's the mayor. I really want to know how these things happened because like
Yeah.
your regular everyday Gotham person knows that Poison Ivy's a villain. How the fuck did she become the mayor?
She was voted for by all the plants.
Yep.
I mean, if we're going by like how the world works, she probably just ran on some sort of anti-immigration policy, and that's all you need. That's all you need.
I know the
right?
I know the Poison Ivy Harley Quinn fans aren't happy at the moment because they broke up because Harley was, I guess, a distraction from her mayoral duties.
Understandable. Plus, whenever you're the mayor, you can have sex with like loads of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whenever Boris Johnson was our prime minister, he had sex with everybody.
There was a
He put that into the book. It's
There was-
mandatory. He had to have sex with everybody. Thankfully, he got out before he got to me and John. But like, he was working his way around the country.
There was a mayor in Toronto years and years ago that got like busted on tape like at like a crack house and stuff. I remember that pretty vividly.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, well, he got around with us as well. He got around, you know. It's what I'm saying. If you're the mayor or the prime minister or whatever, you can just kind of like just have sex with whoever you want. Why would you tie yourself down to one clown? You could have loads of clowns. As we know, Gotham City full of clowns.
It is rotten with him.
Mm-hmm. Literally, you know. They got a real clown problem, and is anybody cleaning that clown problem up? Probably not.
Well, Joker, as a result of what happened to him in Hush 2, is apparently in like a back to tank kind of situation. Dylan, I don't think that's a reference you're gonna get. Um, he's basically in a tube filled with liquid, hooked up to a breathing apparatus, with like diodes all over his head because of what happened in Hush 2. But like Fraction
Okay.
did some interview talking about how he's reframing the Joker Batman relationship in that sense. So like he's sort
Do
of
I
a
want to know
Hannibal
what that?
Lecter kind of thing where he's just kind of he's contained right now kind of deal.
Mm. Can't we just drown him?
I don't know. See, like that's the stuff about this Fraction run that, like I said, I'm like gonna be 10 issues behind because of the delay from Hush 2. But like it's gonna be interesting to catch up on the reading because like the things I know about it are like, Tim Drake is taking a break from being Robin because he got like shot
Right.
by a corrupt cop and like almost died. And Barbara Gordon intentionally got herself arrested so that she can investigate what's going on in this prison. And Damian and Bruce blew up Wayne Manor to keep Vandal Savage from getting into the Batcave.
Is that a good idea?
No, it's gonna be interesting whenever they decide to reset continuity again and like take Batman back to his roots, because like Alfred's been dead for 5 years now, and like that's still weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like Alfred's gone, and now there's no Wayne Manor, and he hasn't been using Wayne Manor. Like he's been like in a townhouse in like upscale neighborhood in Gotham. So like the Batcave is like parts of like a sewer system that he had converted years ago because Batman he always has contingencies. So like there's all of
That's
these
what I was gonna-
elements of like Batman that he doesn't have at the moment.
I was gonna ask that. Like, if he's blown up Bruce Wayne Manor to like hide the Batcave, like obviously the house is gone, but does he still go into the Batcave?
No,
Because
like
then
the
you're like, well,
Batcave got
couldn't...
destroyed as a result of it too. Like he blew the whole thing up.
So the big penny's gone.
Yep, Big Penny's gone. The
And
The
the
big
T-Rex.
penny's gone.
The Big Penny, the big giant robot dinosaur.
All the other shit.
Yeah. The glass case
Whatever
that had Jason
fucking
Todd's
movie.
Robin costume in, even though Jason Todd's like alive.
Yeah, like the skeleton of Bane. It's all gone. It's all gone.
It's all gone. But yeah, so like that's been that's been a thing.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, like
Again,
I said,
that sounds like shaking something up for the sake of shaking it up.
yeah, it's not as
Oh.
extreme as in like let's give him powers or something. Like they've been doing that to other characters. Like there was a couple of
Yeah.
issues where Cassandra Cain's Batgirl had like blood magic, and like she just got that undone. Then there's the whole Emperor Aquaman storyline right now where he's like traveling through space through these like lighthouse portals because he's connected to the elemental blue. Like they're definitely doing that in other books, but for some reason it's not like as poorly received as what's been going on with Marvel and their attempts at doing that too.
I was gonna say, how soon do you think it'll be before Batman is the new Venom?
Well, they've been doing those crossover storylines. I wouldn't be surprised if there is like a follow up to Batman and Deadpool where Batman gets the Venom symbiote.
They're both dressed in black.
Mm-hmm.
They're both something. Add something in here that makes it a connection between the two of them.
Yeah.
Symbiote could basically be his like cape and cowl,
Well,
Yeah.
that's
and
kind
then
of
he
like
could
what
get the
they're.
cape to do stuff for him.
Well, that's Spawn. You just made Batman Spawn at that point.
Yeah.
Well, Spawn's been away for ages. By the time he came back,
He's not been away.
There you go.
hasn't
They're
he?
still no. They're still making Spawn comics.
Are they?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. McFarlane's just slow as shit putting them out, but they're still coming out.
Is this John? Did you know this? I thought they stopped like fucking 20 years ago.
No.
I thought they'd stopped, but
No, like there's still like Sam
Oh,
and
well.
Twitch comics and like Spawn, but it's like set in the old west and shit. Like he's still putting out content.
Still makes Spawn comics.
Yeah. He is. I see it on the
Like
wall.
once every 3 years? Like what the fuck?
Nah, it's
Is
every
this
couple of months.
before Jeff Loeb? What's going on here?
Todd's running that action figure company. You know,
They're doing pretty well.
That's where his bread and butter. Well, he just lost the DC
That's
license.
where the money is. Turns out the money's in fucking action figures.
Yeah.
Forget this dumbass comic shit.
Yeah, he's they just lost the DC license to Hasbro, so I don't know. He made like a Hellboy figure not that long ago, so I don't know. Anyway, regardless, is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's hope we get a new. Maybe Spawn could be Venom.
Yeah,
There you go.
get Image to tie in with Marvel.
That's what Marvel needs. Needs that boost. Needs that rub.
You need that Image boost. Image is kind of fallen on the wayside. Like as somebody, like you said, the whole point of like the new #1s is that I've been doing is like getting familiar with all these other publishers, and I'll tell you right now that like the publishers to look for right now, Ignition Press and Mad Cave Studios. I think those are the two big ones. They are doing Ignition Press does so many really cool ideas. Like the one I just did this last week for Showdown, it was such a good read. But yeah, so Ignition Press is really, really good. They're doing a lot of really unique stuff with like really good talent. Mad Cave Studios is such a weird company in that they're doing these takes on like Dick Tracy and the Phantom, but they're also making this like really cool original content as well. So it's sort of like they're kind of doing what IDW does, but then also throwing in a lot of original stuff too. But like Image is kind of getting left in the wayside, in my opinion. I've not seen anything from Image lately that looked as good or as interesting as something from Ignition Press. I also know Bad Idea Comics is like trying to make a comeback, but I don't know how well that's going to go for them. They got the Tony Millionaire comic that I told you about, and that was really, really good. But yeah, I don't know. But Ignition Press, Mad Cave, those are the two smaller publishers to look for. Good stuff coming from them.
Okay, hot tip.
Hot tip. I've
Smart
also
Avengers hot tip.
Yeah, I've also had some, stuff from even smaller publishers that weren't as great, There was like I can't remember the name of the publisher, but like there was a comic called Abattoir 6, and it was like a mature horror comic that was about the world being taken over by vampires and people who are routinely sacrificed to them, and I was like, I see what you're going for here, but I feel like there's way too many. I feel like the market's oversaturated with horror comics in the independent third-party publishers right now. A lot of horror stuff getting put out there.
Mm-hmm. What do you call them? What was the name of the group?
Ignition Press?
No, the comic.
Oh, Abattoir 6?
Abattoir 6. You gotta watch them now because they'll be fired in a couple of months.
What was really funny is that their barcode on the back of the comic, like they're such a small company, the barcode was blurry, where they like blew it up to like take up space on the back of the cover, that it was so blurry that the machine wouldn't scan it. The guy at Laughing Ogre actually had to hand type the barcode number in for it to come up in their system.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been really kind of fun to like do this deep dive into like all of these smaller things, because you see like who is actually like putting out really strong content and who are like this is kind of going to be your foot in the door, like work for us, get some titles out there, build up your resume, and then you can pitch it to the other companies like, look, I made these series for these publishers, kind of deal. So like there's talent there, absolutely, but like they're so small that it's not, they're not expecting major sales, like you do,
except for Corey.
Except for me. I one time, when I was going through the checkout, the person that was behind the counter, who I haven't learned his name yet because he's new there, he was like, you might be the only person that's picked this up. And I was like, well, there's a story. There is a story.
Did you tell him about the show?
Yeah. Yeah, I got to
Did you watch it?
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah.
Ugh, I have to be careful. The other night I got too drunk and I threw up and I pulled a muscle in my back throwing up. So this whole time
We're getting
laughing
old.
and breathing hurts.
We're getting too
Ooh.
old.
So John
That's the thing.
nearly fucking killed me when he mentioned he'd watched Despicable Me 3 and 4. I was like, "Oh no, this is how I die."
On camera.
On camera.
'Cause if you did die, we would clip this and put it on Instagram.
I'd be curious to see how you would do it because it's on my screen record.
Well, we know where you live. We'll break in your house.
Okay, there you go.
We have to feed your cat.
Oh yeah, someone's got to take care of the dream.
Yeah. And we would do that, obviously. We feed your cat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey John,
Mm.
do me a favor. Tell me what the last Despicable Me or Minions movie you watched was.
The last Despicable Me movie I watched was Despicable Me 4.
The one
The
you
one
remember.
with the stuff that happened, and I assume there was minions and stuff in it, and
Keep vamping.
you know, there was oh, apparently Will Ferrell was the villain in it. I don't remember that.
Was he?
I feel
Yeah.
like the voice casting for those movies, like they get big names, but they don't really advertise them very well. Because like I remember, well, Jason Segel was the villain in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Like those movies are just completely
had-
overshadowed.
Trey
Amazing.
Parker was the villain in the third one, and
I remember
that
that.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that. Because he did not try at all to change his voice.
Oh god, no.
Couldn't give a
It
shit.
was very clear. He was a slightly more enthusiastic Trey Parker, but it's exactly him.
Mm-hmm. Less swearing.
Yeah, well, he said the only reason he did it was so his kids could watch something he was in.
Oh, there you go.
Makes
Checked
sense.
out. Story checks out. You know.
But yeah, John, what was your?
What did you give? Yeah, what did you give it? On what was out of 5? What did you give it?
Despicable Me 4, I gave 2.5 stars.
Oh,
Average.
close to
Average
average.
Yeah,
C minus.
2.5.
wasn't great.
So was that your most
But
recent?
now I
movie that you
don't have
watched,
to watch
though?
it ever again. Oh, no, the most recent I watched was The Smashing Machine.
Oh shit!
Oh.
With our friend Dwayne.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Old DJ, as Dave Meltzer keeps calling him, like they're friends.
Ooh, somebody didn't sound too enthused with the Smashing Machine.
I mean, I don't know. I think it was nice to see The Rock actually acting for once, rather than doing like take on his usual shtick.
Yeah.
But because like the weird thing is, he in that movie he is absolutely jacked to the gills. He looks as big as he's ever looked. But
Yeah.
then the character he's playing is actually quite gentle and sensitive, and like, you know, he has emotions which you don't really associate with a lot of The Rock's characters. So I thought the performance was good, but like the movie itself wasn't great. Like it was a bit flat, but hey, you know,
Have you
it is what it is.
Have you ever heard the story Alan Rickman told about Tim Allen making Galaxy Quest?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So there's an
No.
interview Alan Rickman was doing, and he was talking about how while they were filming Galaxy Quest, there's a scene where it's like supposed to be an emotional moment, and after they film it, Tim Allen gets legitimately choked up and walks off set, and they stop filming until he can like compose himself and come back. And Alan Rickman said it was that moment. It was like, oh my god, I think he just experienced acting.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened to The Rock in this. I think The Rock has always just been The Rock and everything. That's why like he really thought that he was gonna like really accomplish some shit when this movie came out. Like, oh, I got a 15-minute standing ovation at Sundance. It's like everybody does.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, well, get your movie out there. Meet the Feebles Part 4. Get it out there, Dylan.
I made it film. They didn't like it at all. They were like, "There's a lot of unnecessary graphic violence in here." I'm like, "It's part of the film."
There's 92 pages of Sonic the Hedgehog fucking in this.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Copyright infringement? Sure, but this is Sundance. Who gives a shit?
They just don't respect your art. Anyway, John, what did you give the Smashing Machine on your letterbox?
I gave it a rather generous 3.5 stars.
Hey, more
Fair
than
enough.
Despicable Me for 4.
More than Despicable Me
Yeah.
4. So, John, where can they find this review and your Despicable Me quadrilogy reviews?
I mean, they don't have to read the Despicable Me reviews.
They should.
So here's
They
the
can
thing.
find it
I
on.
want to before you do that. I just want to say I know you well enough to know you wrote very earnest reviews of those movies. Like you didn't fuck around with those. I know you well enough to know that you took that very seriously.
I didn't. Well, I struggled with them because I didn't have that much to say about them.
Exactly. You didn't just put sucked.
No, I bet like Despicable Me 2 just says shit.
All right, John. What's that URL?
So you can find my reviews on Letterboxd at Big John Bowski, or one word.
And Dylan, what have you been getting up to during the week?
I've been watching all of the Despicable Me films. They're really good. I think they're better than The Godfather.
Better than the Smashing Machine.
I've never seen that.
Can't say I have. Either.
Other than that, though, it's not that good. Other than that, I do a radio show. It is on Monday nights on Bounce Digital Radio, so it's online. You can listen to it online. You go to the URL bouncedigitalradio.co.uk. At 9 o'clock on Monday nights UK time, you can listen to my show. We do like all sorts of like cool music and stuff. Pretty fun. You can check it out. I also stream on Twitch at Spooky LaRue, where I draw stuff and then I animate those stuffs and I put them on YouTube at Team Crows and I put them on TikTok at Team Crow Studios. So if that sounds cool to you, you should subscribe and that would be nice.
There you go. As for me, we talked about it a little bit here. I have another show on this channel called New Number Ones, where I try to find a new number one comic every week and then grade it on whether or not it's worth reading and following the story potentially. You can find all those episodes here, usually released every Sunday. In addition to that, I have my other show, Large Old Cup, which is a spoken word stream of consciousness show where I kind of just go for 28 minutes. Sometimes I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, and other times not so much. But it's good practice in like kind of working through stuff and being quick on my feet because dead air is never good. But I think that's going to do us all for today. Thank you for stopping by this Relaxed Fit. You can find our show on YouTube if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple iTunes or whatever the fuck it's called anymore. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, pick a podcast platform. We're on it. I mean, literally, I think I put us on every single one of them. So check us out there. And we will see you guys later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.